Alright, I'm back. This video will be very short. It's just a continuation of the last video. But yeah, controller comfort doesn't really matter to me because as long as, I mean, for the PS2 it doesn't matter. For fighting games, let's see, it doesn't matter. I only, I like playing one of my favorite games is Ultimate Mortal Kombat for the Sega Genesis. There is a 6-button controller that they made, not just for that game, but a controller with 6 buttons. In Ultimate Mortal Kombat, you kind of need that really because it has high punch, low kick, high kick, block, run. The standard Sega controller only has 3 buttons. So when I played Mortal Kombat on the 3-button controller, it wasn't really uncomfortable. It was just inconvenient. Whereas if I was playing with the 6 button, it was more convenient. It wasn't really it wasn't really a thing of an issue of comfort. It was just an issue of convenience. And with the PS2, the PS2 has plenty of buttons, shoulder buttons, and even the PlayStation. So when I play a fighting game, I don't think comfort matters to me. Although I don't play a lot of fighting games, and the fighting games that I do play, they're not really that in depth. You don't have to do a lot of half circle forward, half circle back, or half circle forward or whatever. Except maybe like Samurai Showdown or something, which I play. I have the anthology version. But yeah, with me, controller comfort doesn't really exist. I don't really get uncomfortable. Like I can play using almost any controller, even with the really small ones that Madcast makes. Because they make really tiny ones for like I guess for like children's hands or the hands of children or whatever. And then they also make I forgot what I was about to say. But anyways, controller comfort doesn't really matter to me. I prefer something like this. Controller comfort was kind of an issue for me at first because I used to play a lot of FIFA for the PS2. I still play FIFA, just not as much as I used to. Like I used to play that game like 9 times a day, every day, all year long. And that was before I even started collecting heavy duty. But that game right there, I don't know what it was about that game, but that was one of the only games that I played, even to this day, that makes me squeeze the controller. Not really out of like trying to break the controller, just out of I don't know, just getting so into the game, and it's like, I would squeeze the controller. And with the slim PS2, or not slim, with the regular controllers, I could actually hear the thing creaking in my hands, sort of like this. You can hear this one a little bit, a little bit. You can hear, but it isn't much give. With the other PS2 controllers, not all of them, but the controller I had, which was a silver controller, because I have a silver PS2 Slim, I could hear it and I could almost feel a tad bit of give. These controllers are very tough. I don't really... Toughness isn't really an issue for me because I don't drop my stuff often, but like it's just very nice to have something that like that you can just like not really be rough with, but something that feels sturdy. This thing feels like it was well made. Whether it actually was or wasn't, I'm not really sure. But yeah, the pricing for these varies on Amazon. If you ever want to get one, I'm not saying you would want to get one, but if anybody would ever want to get one, I paid on eBay. I paid I think either $15 or $20 for this brand new. And there are a lot of other ones. There's Cowboys. There's a whole bunch of them. And usually the pricing, in my opinion, for some reason, it's based on the teams or which controller you want. Because on Amazon, like the St. Louis Rams controller will be like $60. Whereas I just bought the Houston Rockets controller. And I'm not really looking for specific teams. I'm looking for the cheapest ones. But I bought a red controller like this, Houston Rockets controller, brand new, for like $10. you know. Whereas like, I don't know, the Spurs controller, or they even have the Batman Begins controller. I think Batman Begins, and that's like $40 or $50 new. So I try to find the cheapest ones, and there are quite a bit of cheap ones. The only issue is when someone says it's new on Amazon, they don't really post a lot of pictures. On eBay, they post more pictures. Sorry, I have the hiccups. I'm not joking or nothing like that. But on eBay, there's pictures for everything. So hopefully the one I bought on Amazon, I'm hoping that it's actually new. If it isn't new, I'm hoping that the seller packaged it like this. Because if you can notice, this part right here is very, very stiff. It's almost kind of hard. It's not really hard to wrap the cord around the controller, but I don't like my cords wrapped around my controllers. I think this is like, this should give you a hint right here. Looking at how stiff this thing is, don't wrap the cord around the controller. I think that's what it meant. Maybe that's just a design choice that Mad Catz wanted to make. But yeah. So if you ever want like a good sturdy controller, this is probably your best bet. Well, I mean, the PS2 controllers are pretty sturdy as well. The only problem I had with my Fantastic Four controller, I kept it for like a really long time, probably like 4 or 5 years, was the X button was getting kind of sensitive. Where like, when I pressed X once, it would do like more than one thing on the screen. And the start button, this thing right here, started to get stuck inside of the controller, which made pausing the game quite the inconvenience. But even still, like, my very first controller was given to me used, and it was already kind of wasn't really beat up, but it had a lot of grime on it because my friend didn't really take good care of his stuff, and he was just kind of a dirty guy. Not really dirty, but somewhat dirty, somewhat grimy. So my goal is to have at least 4 of these bad boys, maybe 5, or maybe I'll just keep buying all of the cheap ones that I can find until there are no more cheap ones. And then I will buy some backup PS2 controllers. I already have 3 regular PS2 controllers backups, and I have another one of these controllers in my drawer. I forgot which one it is, but yeah. Sorry to talk you guys' ears off. I just want to make sure I get everything out that I'm trying to say. And yeah, these controllers are pretty good. I like a nice, sturdy controller. I plan on doing a lot of Let's Playing with this. I usually peel this thing off, this NFL stick. I'll do that later on. I don't really need that sticker right there. And yeah, that's about it. I'll probably more than likely resume my Let's Play of Call of Duty, the big red one. I'll probably resume that tonight. And I think that's about it. The next pickup, well, I'm not doing another pickup video for a while. I only have one more item coming in, and that's the Houston Rockets Mad Catz controller. Maybe I'll do an unboxing of that, or maybe not. Well, I'll see. But it's basically the same exact design, the same structure, just a different sticker or whatever on the controller. But yeah, if you ever, like I said, if you guys ever want a good sturdy controller aside from the PS2 controller, or if you just want a backup to go along with how many more backup controllers you already have, these are pretty good. They're not really the most, I mean, they do have an awkward feel, but it doesn't really detract from like playing a game. I guess maybe if you like a lot of fighting games, like a lot of Street Fighter games or something like that, or whatever, then maybe this would feel a little awkward, for you. Like, the PS2 is probably your best bet. But if you're playing a game like with me, I play games, or at least fighting games, where they're more or less combination based. Like, there isn't a lot of like half circle this, half circle that. But like, that's just me. But anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video, which will probably be a Let's Play. And take care.